Hey everyone, it's me, Master Walrus 9, back again with another episode of Walrus's TCG Dailies. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. As always, if there's any kind of deck you want to see, or gimmick, or mechanic that you want to see played, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Now, first off, let's take a look at our daily quest. We want to deal 100 total damage to your opponent's Pokemon, and attach 9 energy cards to your Pokemon. I think both of these are fairly reasonable with the deck we are going to be playing today, and that is one I call Edge and Destroy. Now, what is Edge and Destroy? This is a Zoroark box deck. What this is going to do is use Zoroark from Evolving Skies, which allows you to transform into a Stage 1 Pokemon, except from Zoroark, from your discard pile. You do have to discard any tools and energies and anything attached to the Zoroark, but we're going to use this aspect in order to pretty much deal with anything that occurs. We're running Pokemon of every single type that really needs to be accounted for to gain the advantage in a matchup. So we have Scizor as a steel type, and he's a really good attacker that we'll be able to utilize even if we are not in the fighting against a steel matchup like an ice type. We got Titan as a water type, who again can do a lot of good damage at 220 in this situation. Belly Bolt, not great on the damage, there's better options, but he's actually for our electric matchup because he's gonna prevent all damage done from opponents' electric Pokemon. So if they can't get Belly Bolt out, we're just gonna be able to slowly pick off the game. We have Slowbro, which is supposed to be a game winner. If the opponent has 1 prize card remaining, we can take 2. We're going to be able to control prize cards because all our Pokemon are going to be non-rule box. We have Cleavor as a fighting type, who's decent enough damage. Magcargo, who does 220, but you got to put all energy attached to the Lost Zone. Finally, we're finishing up with Scovillain as a grass type. It's going to be able to do 180 if it has a fire energy attached. And Mightyena, which is going to be doing 160 as a dark type. Ultimately, we're using the Kirlia engine in order to get rid of these Pokemon. Draw them into hand, use Kirlia's refinement to trash them, draw 2 more. We're pairing up with Jirachi and Manaphy for bench protection since we are not running rule box. Our Pokemon are ultimately lower HP compared to Vs and EXs we're going to see. Now, you might be thinking this is a lot of different variety. Well, our intentions is to use Reversal Energy as the primary means of getting our energy off. It's going to provide all 3 types of any energy we need at a time, as long as we follow 3 conditions. First off, we have to have more prize cards than the opponent. So on tier 1 or turn 1, when we're 6 and 6, we can't allow it to go. We need to get KO'd by something. 2, we're talking about an evolution Pokemon. So the Jirachi is not going to be able to use it, just as an example. But anything else is going to be able to use it. And then 3, the evolution Pokemon doesn't have a rule box. And that's why we don't run stage 1 EXs. Because it could be really tempting, and they do technically work with the Zoroark. However, it will not be able to be affected by reversal energy, so it's not as efficient. I'm pairing in with a couple DTE for certain hitters, and a couple steel energies because Scizor's our primary attacker for most situations. And ultimately, we're just going to use an item deck that focuses on getting all the Pokemon out as soon as possible. Boss's orders to switch up for close games. Clara allows us to pull the Zoroark, Zora into hand. Some basic steel energies if we need it. A couple switch if we need it. Ultra Balls, Level Balls, Arizu. Heavy on Diono, Professor's Research. Zinnia's Resolve. We want to discard these Pokemon in order to get it going. And, you know, the deck's not the ultimate. It's not the win-all, be-all. However, it can put in some work, and it really does match up well against most decks if you get it right. I played a few decks last night. I think I went 3-1, if not 4-0. And I was playing against a good variety. I played against a Charizard EX. I played against a superior grass type deck. I think I played against a Chan Pao deck. So ultimately, it's nice. You could go first, you can go second. It's not going to make as much of a difference, in my opinion. Double Ralt is a good opener. And I don't know where I want to go. I mean, the double Ultra Ball is nice. And Scavillain opener is super nice as well. I think what we're going to want is we want the Zoroark to be set up sooner than later. So we're going to get a Zoro onto the bench. Okay, they're playing Quaxley, which is not what I was expecting with the Dark Sleeves. Yeah, we're just going to toss a Zoroark and in to pull a Zorua. Yeah, there we go. Just going to bench this, and we're going to end turn. We don't really need to go too complex in our moves. Now, I wonder if they're running a combo Dark Water deck. If so, that's interesting. I believe if they're running not the EX, but the Quavel, I forgot the Pokemon's name. The non-EX version, you're going to, okay, Roblox, Riano, all right. The non-Roblox version is going to allow you to put an extra energy down per turn, which isn't bad by all means. Battle VIP Pass is a good opener. Honestly, unsure of where I want to go. Arizu's a nice option. We don't have the damage output we want just yet. And these Quaxley are water types. There's a Purloin and a Manaphy. Okay. So our Belly Bolt's going to be able to hit for super effective damage, which is nice. Earthen Vessel, so it's a combo water dark. I'm curious. I really am curious. This seems to be a new deck. Haven't seen any of these cards before besides staples like Manaphy and Greninja. I did try something with Quaquavel. I like Quaquavel with the EX variation. I think it works well. I'm a bit more concerned about bench ping, so we're going to set up the Manaphy. Set up a second Zorua. We're going to Rizu. We're going to pick up a double on Ralt and a Belly Bolt. See, we don't have the... We're going to pick up Cleavor instead. Belly Bolt would be nice for the super effective damage, but we'll actually be able to get a kill off with Cleavor. Because we have the DTE. Yeah. So we're going to trash that. Pick up 2. Jirachi's not bad. I don't necessarily want to get rid of the Nest Ball, but I think it's ultimately going to be the better move. Yeah, these aren't great, in all honesty. And if I have to sack a Kirlia, I'm going to, but hopefully we won't. I'm just going to leave Kirlia up front. Now, since the Zoroark will discard all cards attached when you use this ability, it is not wise to give attachments such as tools and energy. So he brings out the Mimikyu. Mimikyu is a solid stall option because so many Pokemon or people run EX and V. This is a nice thing about this deck, since you're not running any rule boxes and you're not running basics. It's really hard to get stalled by it. It's always possible to get stalled, but I don't think it's going to happen too much. So we're just going to see what they do. Okay, they run Irida, which is probably going to be Quaquavel and a rare candy if I was to take a bet. Quaxwell and rare candy. So he must have a Quaquavel in hand. And yeah, there it is. So he does go for the EX variation. So we're going to need to get more damage out. So Belly Bolt's going to be a higher priority. And Quaxwell on the bench. Oh, okay. Signing Dance is only going to do 60. And I don't know if he's going to do the escape rope. He does escape rope. So that kind of works out for me. I don't have to stress as much about the Curlia getting knocked out. Now, a nice aspect of this deck is that we are gonna hit up the Zinnia's Resolve. We don't necessarily need to waste an Iono. I'm not gonna research. We have not hit that. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm checking my discard. Yeah, I got a Zoroark in there. We have Ultra Balls in order to pick up and discard. So, ideally, we get something. Please. So Titan will be able to do decent damage. There's a Zoroark. Perfect. Beautiful. Now the question is, where do we want to go? And the Quaquaval does 230, but it's going to rebound the energies to its hand, and that's presuming he has energies. I don't want to heavy invest, so we're just going to go with Cleavor. We can use the DTE more variably. We don't have the prize cards taken out for the triple energy or reversal energy. So we're just gonna set up Cleavor. We're gonna DTE. It's not gonna do a crazy amount of damage, but it's gonna do enough damage. It's 30 for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, plus a 10. They have a loaded bench like they do right now. That's a 160. Since we're running DTE, that's gonna pull us to about 140. Now the Hisuian Basculin is designed with the intent to gather the crew. If turn 1 you have Hisuian Basculin, you can open up your bench by putting 2 additional Pokemon on there. Since it is an evolution based engine, you are going to want to get that running sooner than later. So I'm gonna take a look at my trash real quick to see what my targets are. We're gonna have 2 Zoroarks and a Zora in the trash. Once the Cleaver goes out, we're going to Super Rod in order to pull the 2 Zoroarks and a Zora into the deck. We're going to bench a Zorua. The Clara's not a bad option either. But I really only want a Clara if I have the slot open. Sets up another Quaquaval. Still curious on what the Purloin Liepard is supposed to be doing. He does get the basic water energy. He's not going to be able to one-tap, so he's going to have to bounce both to his hand. And if he had the Quaquaval no rule box, then he would be alright, but he doesn't. Now the issue is that we only gave a prize card and we took a prize card, so our reversal energy is not going to be doing as well as I'd like. We're going to move up with Jirachi. Since we have the switch, we have a decent option. Nest Ball, we have stuff to work off of. I'm gonna Super Rod. I would rather have those in the deck. We're getting Nest Ball to pull up the Zorua. We can use Curly as refinement to trash this. We don't really need it at this point. Double Zoroark hit. I would not say that's very likely, but we take those. Now the question is, what can we do? We gotta think that our options are pretty limited, energy wise. So I'm thinking we just end turn. We don't need to do anything. We don't need a refinement. We don't need a boss's orders. We're just gonna end turn. The Manaphy on the bench is going to be super helpful for protecting Pokemon like Curlia. And seeing a deck like this almost makes me consider running a more powerful electric. Especially considering we have Cleavor for electric Pokemon. But again, I'm not fully clear on that. There are options. So the Irida, he's probably going to pick up a Quaquaval and a... No, he picks up a Dark Patch, which is interesting. And I don't know what he intends to Dark Patch with. Oh, it's probably the Quaquaval. No. No. Okay, you could have swapped and Quaquaval... See, I'm curious. This person is making a lot of moves that I'm not sure on what the intentions are. Now, one Pokemon that I have that might be interesting thought-wise is my Cargo. Why would you want to put the energy attached in the Lost Zone? Well, we have to expect that the Pokemon is pretty much donezo after the hit. If they are unable to survive... Oh, okay, that's nice. Sorry, I keep getting distracted, but the Belly Bolt was a nice option to have in hand. We gotta essentially presume that our Pokemon is going to be knocked out after the fact. So, in a situation like that, we are going to prime ourselves by using the fact that the energy is not going to reoccur. Because special energy is not going to be put back into the hands. We just have to expect that. So we're going to go Cleavor. Just DTE and just get some good damage out. Now, I don't know if I want to kill anything on his bench or prime up the Quaquaval for some damage. We're in a really weird position because we don't want to be in the lead. We want to be in the behind, which is why I call it the edge. You're edging a loss. I'm almost a bit scared of that Purloin. We're not going to be able to get a kill with anything. And the fact that he has the Purloin set up makes me curious on what the intent was. So I'm going to take it out sooner than later. We got the Zoroark in the level ball. So we're in a really good setup at the moment. The Quaquavals, he's probably going to be able to get that energy going. Yeah, energy retrieval. I'm just curious. What's the dark purpose of it? Is it forcing something about us switching up? Even that, I'm not certain. Okay. I have been taking a good amount of time on my turns, but Box is a deck that requires a lot more thought because there's a lot of variety that can go. And honestly, if you're expecting to not meet some of these matchups, you could probably cut some of these Pokemon. For example, if you're not expecting an electric matchup, then you might be able to cut Cleaver. Personally, I wouldn't suggest it. If you're not expecting grass as a matchup, you could probably cut more Cargo. If you're not expecting electric, you can cut Belly Bolt and get a better water. Okay, so he switches for Beach Court, which is honestly not bad for us. Because if we go into our babies, yeah, we're going to go into our babies right now with Jirachi. And we can retreat if needed. So double level ball. We should have a Zorua into the... Yeah. Next turn, we'll Clara in order to pick them up. But we more so want the Jirachi to get knocked out. Now, what I'm thinking is that ultimately we're going to want to knock out some Quaquaval. We need to get the 2 prize cards for our Slowbro victory, which we don't have really set up at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Clara this turn. It doesn't seem like the best decision, but hear me out. Zora and Zoroark were primed more for our boss's orders on the next turn if they come around. I'm going to keep the switch. I don't really want to get rid of it just yet, but we will refinement away in an Iono. I would prefer to have more cards in the hand. See, I like that. We'll get rid of Mightyena. Mightyena is good for the Psychic matchup. You're not going to be able to get that free 30 knockout that you need, but you're going to get some good stuff going. Now, where I want to go, I'm thinking the Belly Bolt's going to do 200. It's not affected by any effects. We're gonna set up Titan for damage. So this turn, I'm gonna use Phantom Transformation in order to go into Titan. attach my reversal energy so I don't waste it as much. Now, we're in a position where it could get a little rough, but ultimately, I think we're in a fine spot. Now, I do want to shut down his hand a bit next turn with the Ono, so that's my game plan. We really don't need anything else. I might evolve one of the Curlias into a Gallade if it's still available, just to have that supporter options each turn, which is really nice. You know, I sleep on Gallade personally, and being able to move an energy to the bench is not bad. Okay, so he's got Exciting Dance, presumably get the Jirachi knockout. See, the problem with this deck, and this is a major problem, is the possibility of deck out. If the opponent sees what's going on, they can force you to not get any prize cards by not being able to attack. So that's why Pokemon like Scizor become much more valuable, because it prevents the deck out via reversal energy. Because if my opponent just stops attacking, I have less cards in hand, in theory, than they do. So if we're in a similar set of recycling, then they'd win by deck out. So I'm just curious. They're gonna Exciting Dance. They're probably gonna switch to the second Quavel, which is honestly not ideal. They're gonna need a switch. We have our boss's orders primed in most scenarios, but ultimately, we're in a solid spot. What we're gonna do is bench Zorua, hit the Zoroark, and looking at what I don't need, we get Ultra Ball away, a Level Ball, and a Switch, and see what we have. So we have the Gallade, we have the Slowbro, and the Zoroark, and I'm gonna pick up the Gallade over the Slowbro. Personally, we're gonna need a Slowbro a lot more important. It's gonna be more important to get the Slowbro, but at this moment, we're in a pretty fine position. I don't want to attach the energy this turn. It would be nice, but ultimately we're just going to shut down their hand with Iono. I mean, 13 cards to the bottom. That's 13 to 3 is a huge difference. Okay, so yeah, now we got an orders in hand. We got a refinement and cash the Slowbro, reversal energy. We're in a good spot. Pretty much at this point, we just have to wait. As long as we can get the kill on this Quavel and with boss's orders and the Zoroark, I'm feeling happily about that. We just have to let him get 2 kills. They're not going to be able to kill this Titan with 1 hit, except if they go for Spiral Shot. But at this point, they're going to have to go to their benched one for the Spiral Shot. Here's somebody's going to pick up with Arven. Probably a switch if I was to predict anything. But I don't think he's got any crazy targets in hand. Now, the Arven's going to be nice for resetting the deck. Okay, Vitality Band for a bonus 10 and a switch. Energy Retrieval to pick up some water energies and trash that orcs. That makes sense. Concealed cards. Okay. Draw 2. So good use of Energy Retrieval, and all props to him. Yeah, he runs the switch. He's gonna go to that Quavel. He's got a Spiral Shot. Next turn, we're going to boss's orders up that Quavel EX that's on the bench with the damage. We're going to hit with a... I don't know where I want to go particularly. Maybe it's a Titan. He's got a really good amount of HP. We'll use a Gallade in order to draw something. But yeah, we're gonna boss's orders. Phantom Transformation. We're gonna pick up the... There he is. I mean, 180 is a really solid amount of HP. You can't really beat that. There's a Pokemon EX that don't have that much HP. So we're gonna Buddy Catch in order to pick up a... not the greatest. I'll pick up the Yono because I can, in theory, shut down a bit better. We'll Ultra Ball this and the Steel. Pick up the Zoroark. So we have that ready for next turn. And it's just going to be a matter of getting our Dark, or not Dark, our energy. Yep, there's the reversal energy. So right now, the plan looks pretty good. We're going to hit for 220, and a 220 is really good on anything. It's such a shame that it doesn't hit EX Pokemon with 230 HP. It's just that fine point, but that's the game. So all we have to do is let them knock out Titan. But Titan's still going to be able to deal some great damage. There's the possibility we win through knockout. Next turn, we're going to set up our Slowbro. That way we can Iono and shut down their hand size a bit better. Irida, okay, that's an alright play. Yeah, that's ball. I mean, it's really a bit too late in my opinion. He does go for the Purloin, so he doesn't know about the Slowbro play. And I am interested in seeing what the Liepard is supposed to do. I don't see it in the discard. I'm presuming it's going to be the Paradox. I want to check that out later. They've got good draw power. I could have considered taking out the Greninja earlier. That definitely helps. Okay. So Titan, Manaphy. We're going to switch up just to our own Manaphy. Only two. Oh. Shoot. I want to keep the Manaphy in hand. We might have to play a long game. We're gonna go with the Zoroark at this moment to get the Slowbro just primed and ready. Because if he Ionos, boss's orders, something like that, we're in a tricky spot. Now, the Titan is primed with the Beach Court to get knocked out. But we can't attack because we're at a tied prize card point. I want to shut down with Iono to force them into a trickier spot. And we have cards like Miriam to help prevent the deck out. We're gonna Buddy Catch just to have something in hand. We're gonna pick up Penny. Because if we need to, we can force into Manaphy and switch out by picking up with Penny. Now, Penny puts a basic Pokemon all attached cards into your hand. So it doesn't work with a majority of the deck. But honestly, you use it for Pokemon like the Manaphy, the Jirachi, or the Basculin. You don't really use it on your Slowbro, the Titan, your Scovillain. And so I opted for Penny just because it targets the basics that I want primarily, and I have a full art, so why not flex with it? Boss's orders, oh, that's a nasty hit, so I should not have done that Slowbro. No, he brings up the Manaphy. Okay. We can definitely use the Penny in order to increase our hand size as well. We're in a tricky spot. Okay, they're gonna retreat. Oh my goodness, he didn't realize. He didn't read the Slowbro. Because now he has the Vitality Band, he's gonna get the extra 10 damage, kill the Manaphy, you gotta switch into Slowbro, take the game. And he thought that was an easy kill. But that's what costed him the game right there. Yeah. So you didn't want to be careful for a situation like that, because if you're 1-to-1, your DTE is going to be what wins you the game. Because you only need a DTE for Twilight Inspiration. And in theory, if you're able to stall it just right, you could boss's order something up and then run the move twice in a row. You don't need to be at 2, but that's you're edging it way too much at that point. So we only attached 5 energies. That's a pretty good amount. So we're gonna run a second game. But you saw that we won against a Quickwave EX. Now I don't think that deck was optimized quite well, but there's potential in a deck like that. I think you need to pair it with the non-rule box Quickwave in order to really see effects going by getting that extra energy ramp per turn. Because you're going to be able to hit a solid 220 each time. I'd consider pairing it with Belly Bolt just for that electric matchup, because electric's going to be scary and there's some strong electric Pokemon. The opponent had an electric coin, an Arceus sleeves, and some weird deck box. I can't remember. I'm curious if we're just an Arceus fan or if we just we're gonna see an Arceus V-Star deck. Had to take a mulligan. Yeah, basics aren't the biggest in this deck, but you had some options. We can go second for cards like Iono for boss's orders to attack with Basculin. They are running an Arceus V-Star. So they have the big doof to go to B-Barrel with that engine. The Radiant Serena is interesting. Now, it's a card you might not have seen as much, but it's going to allow you to draw or heal 20 HP off of each of your Pokemon per turn. They're pairing with Regieleki V. This might work out pretty well for us, if I'm being honest. Yeah, so we're going to level ball. Pick up the Basculin. We are going to run a switch. Artizone. We're going to pick up a second Ralts. No, we're not. So we only have 1 Ralts at this moment. Gather the crew. I'm not afraid of effect damage as much as I am king damage. So we're just going to set up the Zorua. I should have Iono'd. That's my fault. But, you know, honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world. Now, Kleavor is going to be good for this matchup against Regieleki V, as well as Belly Bolt if they get into a stuck position. Now, they're going to be able to retreat, but Kleavor is also going to be good for the Arceus V-Star. This deck has some aspects I kind of like, but you really are edging the fighting weakest in this. So he does run a research. Gets a second V-Star. I don't know if he's going to V-Star ability at this turn. Grass Energy? Grass Energy is interesting. So do they plan on attacking with Radiant Serena? Starbirth. Honestly, we do want Basculin dead, because that's going to prime up our reversal energy. So maybe we can get some good moves. Now, I'm curious on what they're going to get with the Starbirth. I'm going to predict a Regieleki VMAX and like a B-Barrel if I was to make any moves. There's a B-Barrel. And he goes for Lost City. Lost City is actually super dangerous against this deck, because all our knocked out Pokemon are going to be banished instead of into the trash where we want it. So this is going to be quite the scary matchup, if I'm being honest. We're going to move up Zorua, and since we have Artizone, we can manage. It's just going to be rough. We're getting Iono. Shoot. We're getting Curlia, and we don't need Penny at this point. Reversal into Titan. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Well, we're just going to end turn. He's going to be able to knock out our Zoroark. I think the game honestly might be done at this point. And now I know it's really early to call it, but if you look at what's going on, his board state's very oppressive. He's going to take out one of our Zoroarks from the game. Boss's orders, he pulls up the Curlia. Now, that's bad for us, but it's manageable. We can work with it still. Trinity Nova, he's ramping up way too hard for my liking. We're gonna hope for an Ultra Ball next turn. Something to discard. Maybe, Zinnia's Resolve. Super Rod, that is unfortunate. We're gonna have to Yono. Hopefully pull something good. We can Artizone to save some face. But we're really in a rough position. Or Zorua. We're not out of the box yet. We're not done just yet. They run Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball works well with B-Barrel because you guys gotta draw to a flat 5. B-Barrel is pretty good, you know, I really can't complain against it. He does pull up the Regieleki VMAX. So I think Cleavor should be able to one-tap it. Judge is not the worst case. We needed some better... We had it on our right hand. We could have done for some better cards. This works out pretty well. Because we're going to actually be using the Zoroark to go into Kirlia. They're going a bit too fast for my liking. And they're ramped up way too hard. So, the game's not done yet. But I really am not in favor of where we're at. We're going to set up this Zoroark. We're going to... Oh, shoot. Shoot. We're going to Ultra Ball. Get this. The Cleavor's... Oh my goodness. It's 150. Well, we're gonna pick up Cleavor. We're gonna need Cleavor more than anything. We're gonna fin the deck out with Artizone. Jirachi. Phantom Transformation. Maybe we can make some moves. Kirlia. And I don't know if I want to Arizu now to fin the deck out. Or try my odds of getting something like a Researcher and a Yono. I think I need to try my odds. We got Miriam. We can work with Miriam. That's going to be a draw free. There's nothing crazy I want to hit, but we will pick those set of 4. We miss it. We miss it. Oh, shoot. Shoot. We are screwed, honestly. Our best move is Scizor at this point. What we'll do is on the next turn, Arizu. No. Oh, no. Come on. We'll see if we get an Ultra Ball. If we don't get an Ultra Ball, I'm going to forfeit. Just to save some time. We need the Scizor. I get Rizu. We didn't get it. We'll pick up a... Yeah, might as well. Honestly, we decked way too hard. We bricked out way too hard. We're just gonna forfeit. Sometimes a loss is a loss. We didn't get the cards we needed. They went way too fast. The lost zone just hurt us way too hard, and I don't think we were able to come back from that. We'll get another game going. Searching for match. Granbull, fun fact about the Snubble box, I am a Granbull fan. So, it's just unfortunate I can't really find any great Granbull cards. I'll see the cards that I have. Maybe I can make something out of it. But ultimately, it's not great. It's Granbull's always been kind of like a major filler. That it's not gonna be a deck winner. Now I will say one of the nice things about this box deck is that it's cheap. If you wanted to play this in real life with some friends, you could probably afford it. And I've seen some listed for 20. Ultimately, it's going to be what you want to play. The Iono's going to be bringing the cost up for the most part, and it could be somewhat tricky based on what you have for Zoroark and Zoroark, but it looks like we're playing a box deck of our own. No, we're playing against Gimme Goldango EX, and I haven't seen a Goldango EX in a while. So this is kind of nice. They're a bit of a pain to manage, but they're not impossible to work with or work against. We can get the switch or like a Steel Energy or something. That'd be cool. Reversal Energy is unfortunate. We're gonna Artizone, pick up a. We're gonna pick up a Ralts. We're gonna Nest Ball to pick up a Zorua. And we're gonna Level Ball in order to pick up a Basculin. Maybe we can get the Basculin to front. Maybe we can pull a Switch or a basic Steel. But we're just gonna Iono. Okay. This is actually a terrible hand. This is really bad. And you might be thinking, oh, well, you got the Zoroark, you got the research for discarding. Yeah, but I also got 3 of my reversal energies, my win conditions in my hand. I need my opponent to Iono, or I need to pull an Iono or something myself, because this is not working. I don't even want to discard 1. So discarding 3 is non-reasonable. It's non-negotiable. Worker's unfortunate. We're not going to be able to get our final basic out of that. We can run into Basculin next turn. Hopefully we can pull like an Arizu. I think Arizu would be good. We can work off an Arizu because we could pull up a Zoroark and like 2 Ralts. Or 2 Curlia. They're running hard. Pokestop's hit or a miss if I want to use it. Because our supporters are trashed once they're trashed. Our energy's gone when it's gone. So we can knock out the Pokemon that we don't want in hand, but ugh. Now Goldango EX is a 260 Steel type. And guess what Steel's weak to? Fire. So it's gonna be overkill, but Magcargo is gonna hit hard. And we go in with the expectation that our Steel our energy is gonna be gone the next turn. So I'm not bothered by putting it into the Lost Zone. Coin bonus. They're doing their whole Goldango thing. I mean, you look at me, it took 50 seconds. He's at 3 minutes. Oh, no, 2 minutes. Okay, there's the finishing play. And we need to make some moves. We're gonna hit Pokestop. Ultra Ball. Wow. Ultra Ball works out well enough. We're gonna discard these. We're gonna pick up a Curlia. And it's tough. It's really tough on what to do in situations like these. And ultimately, I think we're just gonna end turn. Now, taking a look at what's hit, we did get a Scovillain, which is not bad, but the Zoroark does hurt a bit. And trashing the research is not ideal, but in that situation, it was a must. Now, pretty much what we get on the next turn is going to be a kill. Escape Rope works out well for us. We can trash the Basculin without having to worry about dumping the Zorua. The Scizor hit is gonna hurt, but it's whatever. Maybe we can pull up a Boss's Orders or something to force into Goldango EX. I want to take a look at my cargo. It's 30 damage. He's only gonna do 60. It's not as much as I would like. Okay, so Curlia for a Clara. Oh my goodness. These are tough hands. These really are tough. We're gonna refinement on the Clara. And we're gonna Miriam to just draw. I don't want to Miriam at this point. It can help against Mill. Artizone. Take out the Pokestop because it helps him more than it hurts us. So, or helps us. So we'll do that. Oh shoot. I don't. We're gonna do it though. We're going to go Scavillain. Yeah. We'll go Scavillain. I don't need to showcase my my cargo just yet. Hopefully we can get something like an Arizu. We get a second switch. Unfortunate. Plenty of times in which I need switch, but this is not one of those times. We're gonna move up to Jirachi next turn. So he does switch out to Artizone for a Pokestop. That's unfortunate. Now I don't know if there's anything really better to run in this deck stadium-wise. I was thinking about Pokemon League headquarters to shut down basic Pokemon a bit more. He's gonna have to discard 3, which he was gonna have to do with the Mag Cargo, so I can manage that. We got a switch in hand. We got Jirachi. What we'll do is we'll discard the Penny. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna discard Penny. With refinement, maybe we can get a Zoroark. That's a lucky hit. That's a really lucky hit right there. We're gonna run switch. Phantom transformation to go Mag Cargo. So the game's not over. And that's the nice thing about a deck like this. You can get quick prize guards against your opponent. The level ball, ideally we're gonna hit the Curlia. And we're just gonna hit Iono. We're gonna shut down his hand size. We would technically be net 1, net neutral. I would love to get some more, whatever his name, Zorua, onto the bench. Yeah, we're not getting the Zorua hits I want, but ultimately, we're gonna Lost Volcano for a 440. Superb damage. The Mag Cargo, I could consider switching out for something. What I want to hit for a Steel type is EX. 340 is the absolute health limit. You really don't see anything past 340. And with the exception of like some health increasing tools or Pokemon or whatever. Anyways. So I would consider a 170 hit. There's nothing great though. And I thought that 220 works better for a general instance. Okay, so he's running energy retrieval. Get those energies up. The gimme goal is going to be a pain, but maybe we can manage it. No, he does get to Goldango. He does have the energy to kill. I don't think I have anything that's going to force another energy besides the Titan. So Titan might be a stall option. Ultimately, we can't do anything for the next turn. So this isn't terrible. We can work with it. The issue is going to be, how do we get our Zoruas back into the hand? We have 2 in the trash, which means 2 are prize. Which is interesting to think about. Not impossible, but it's highly unlikely. Yeah. We're going to move Jirachi up. And we're going to Artizone. And Iono. That's all we can do. We're gonna hope to pull... Yeah, Super Rod. That's the guy. So we're gonna pop up these two Zorua and a single Zoroark. We're gonna Artizone. Pick up a Zorua. We're gonna Curlia left to trash the Scizor, draw 2, then evolve with Gallade. We're gonna get a Refinement. Curlia right, Mightyena, draw 2. Buddy Catch, we're going to pick up and Orders. We can manage better with Orders than anything else. We're gonna end turn. The Zinnia's Resolve's not bad. That way we can choke out the hand. Gholdengo EX draws fairly well. I mean, right there, if he does not switch out, he's got a +1, a +3, a +4. The worker out the hurt zone, that sucks. That's quite unfortunate. And we're going to be able to draw more cards with Zinnia's Resolve than we are going to be with Iono. So we're just going to hope to get some good plays. You know, I don't necessarily know if the Buddy Catch was the right sense. But that's going to be the one thing you always just look back in hindsight. You review your plays. You see what works, what didn't work, where you could improve, and what your mistakes you're making. So the energy retrieval, they're decking out fairly fast. I know we have DTE in there. So we could force in the right plays a Slowbro win. The Slowbro is going to be a nice win. We're going to move Zorua up. We're not going to boss's orders. Arizu is a tricky situation. I don't know if I want to necessarily go with that. We're going to Refinement away a Manaphy just to increase our draw potential. That works out well. And I think that essentially confirmed what we want. Oh my goodness. This is tough. We're going to be able to draw with Zinnia's Revolve for each of my opponent's Pokemon to play, which is going to be a +6 in hand. It's not going to guarantee the Zoroark. We're going to need Zoroark on the next turn. We're going to go late just to buy a little bit more time. We're going to take a look at what we have. 3 Zoroarks. We need the Zorua. So we can get that for an Ultra Ball or a Level Ball or pulling the Zorua himself. We need to run the Zinnia. We need to make risks, and we don't have it at this moment. So we're going to trash the Iono and the Arizu in order to pull up. And we got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. So we're going to Phantom Transformation. We're going to Reversal Energy. Pick up the Magcargo. Go back there. Reversal. Now, I'd almost want to boss's orders for the simple fact of DTE. But, well, we can manage well enough. We got Research. We got a good hand. We got a good hand. Draw 2. We get Slowbro. The game's pretty much ours at this point. Yeah, he's going to be able to kill our Magcargo with the Gholdengo. We're going to be able to move our Zoro up, evolve to Zoroark, Slowbro. We're going to Professor's Research in order to bait out the DTE. We're going to thin that deck out as much as possible. So he's making his final plays. I mean, he's had 4 cards left in his deck. He's got to try and win. He's on a time limit. He's got the energy to do so. But if I can get my Magcargo out, again, I got it. In theory, it looks like a half game. So he's gonna make it rain. And yeah, we got it. We got it. This is game. So We're gonna go down to 9, research 2. We're gonna be able to pull our whole deck in order to get the DTE. Or we don't even need to. We're gonna Phantom Transformation. No! No. I almost made a big mistake. We need to Slowbro into trash first. Then we're gonna Phantom Transformation. Pick up the Slowbro. We're gonna run this. DTE. And finish off the game with a nice and cool. See, I want to flex. I really do by going boss's orders. But the one thing I will recommend, no matter the deck you are playing, you need to make every single move count. You have to predict that you are going to mess this up somehow. So we got our final prize card. And so if something occurs, a glitch happens, or you make a mistake vocalizing your moves and intentions, you need to make sure that you've done everything right to give you the best odds of victory. So that's going to be it for today's video. That is a deck I call Edge and Destroy, also known as Zoroark Box. A wolf, so it does bark. Ultimately, it's not expensive. You can really get a lot of these cards for cheap. You can switch out cards that you like. The Alolan Raticate might be an option if you want to edge out your opponent a bit more. I saw Aerodactyl as an option for de-evolution ray. Yeah. Which works better with the DTE. Let's get shut down something. Yeah. There's a lot of options. And if you want to run this Zoroark and Kirlia engine with Stage 1 EX Pokemon, you can certainly do that. It's just not going to work as well. It's not going to be as much of a box as if you are running Stage 1 non-rule box. Because you're not going to be able to get the reversal energy up. And you are going to be taking 2 prize cards. You're giving your opponent 2 prize cards per hit. You're going to be hitting harder. You're going to be able to get your HP thresholds where you want them. And your damage out as you'd like. But there's some issues. And it really changes up the game. Your opponent often plans for a super fast game. And by forcing them into a box position, you're making them run slow. And so if you're taking 2 prize cards for every 1 day take, then you're in a pretty good spot. Anyways, that is the video today. I hope you enjoyed and you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.